everyone, welcome back. Day 2, Georgetown Recreation Center Shelter-in-Place Fitness Challenge. We're going to do healthy pizzas today. Now let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little extra virgin olive oil on the bottom of the pan. I like extra virgin olive oil because it's cold processed and it's a little bit better for you. So this is going to keep it from sticking as much as possible. And I'm going to spread that out nice and evenly. Put that off to the side. I have pizza crust here. This is a healthy whole wheat, very thin tortilla that we're going to use. You can use naan bread, which I could not find at the store because it was just totally out, and also boboli, which is another. So this one is the healthier. The middle one would be the naan bread, and this would be the high-octane crust. You can always do your own pizza crust if you like, but to save time, we decided to just go ahead and purchase. Normally, I don't use things from a jar, but today I am, again, for time. If you are going to use something from a jar, like this marinara sauce for my pizza sauce, I'm going to make sure that it's quality. It's the really good stuff. It costs a little bit more, but it's really, really worth it. So I'm going to put it in the center. This one's got a few little cherry tomatoes in it, which really adds a little extra spice to it. Really nice. And then just circle around. When I'm making pizza in my family, some people don't like sauce, some people do. So those who don't like sauce, I'll just take the pizza and not put the sauce on it, and I'll just slice up some tomatoes and use the tomatoes on there. I like the little Campari tomatoes because they're sweet. And I'm not going to blanch them and take the skins off because they're pretty small. So just a few. You should always have a sharp knife. Keeps you from cutting your fingers. So I'm going to take my little sliced tomatoes and put them on there. Just a couple, because I've got a lot of other veggies I want to add to it. Yeah, I'll use that one. Okay, move that to the side. The next thing that I'm going to add, peppers and mushrooms. Remember, when you're cooking with mushrooms, they give off a lot of water. So you don't want to add too many because you don't want a mushy pizza. And if you add too many fresh mushrooms, they will get mushy. I can add a few to this one because it's a thicker crust. But so be careful on how many you add. And if you don't like mushrooms, you just leave them off. You want everything to be colorful. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add my red peppers, some orange peppers. I don't really notice a difference in taste. Some people do. I think they all kind of taste the same. It's just nice to have color, lots of color. The next thing, just a few pieces of zucchini. And again, if you don't like zucchini, don't add it. Leave it off. The great thing about doing pizza, especially for the family, is everybody gets to add what they like. My kids basically liked cheese, so that's what they added. Okay. The very last thing I'm going to put on there is cheese. Again, with things being kind of slim at the grocery store, I normally like to get mozzarella fresh, or I like to grate it myself. When you grate cheese yourself, it's going to be fresher, it's going to taste better. Even though this is going to be pretty good, mozzarella, you want to get a quality mozzarella that doesn't have like a waxy taste to it. And this one is always pretty good. I really like to grate it myself. That couldn't happen. For some reason, with what's going on right now, cheese has been disappearing every time I go to the store. Then I'm putting a little Asiago on there. Again, once again, all I could find was the grated, which is fine. Still pretty good quality. Asiago is a little bit firmer, and it's a little bit saltier, so it's going to add a little bit more salty flavor to your cheese. Okay, and there you have it. Now we're going to put it in the oven. And here is the finished product. The very last thing that I'm going to do, and again, this is optional. You don't have to do any of this. I'm going to just do a little chiffonade of basil. I'm going to take my stem, and I'm going to pull from the top, because I don't want the stem in there. And then I'm just going to chop it up. I don't want the flower. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. Chop, chop, chop. You know, it's a lot easier to do this at home when I don't have gloves on, but it works. So one of the reasons I'm adding this basil on after I've cooked it is because when you cook basil, what happens is it loses its flavor. I want to taste all that really wonderful flavor on the pizza. So I'm going to put it on after so I can taste it, just to give it a little bit of extra. And there you have it. Now for the exercise portion of day 2. We're going to do 3 body weight exercises, squats. I'll show you modification, or Reagan will show you modifications for that. We're going to do push-ups and also modification for push-ups, and then sit-ups. So let's get started. We're going to do 10 to start. He's going to make sure that when he comes down, his knees are behind his toes, engaging your glutes when you come up, and lifting your body nice and tall. Chest is staying up. He's looking good. It's a little bit of balance too, which is excellent. So now if your knees bother you and going down far is not for you, lessen the range of motion, and he'll show you that. So even if you're going down just a little bit, you're still getting the benefit of the exercise. How about 2 more? Good. Okay. The next thing we're going to do are push-ups. Actually, we are going to do it. He's doing it. Regular push-ups, full-bodied, shoulders lined up with chest, looking good, exhaling on the way up. If this is too difficult, you're engaging your core. You have to actively pull in your abdominal wall and let it support your back. Now, if this is too much, you're simply going to drop to the knees and do your push-ups from here. You can start with a full-body push-up and then move right into a modification, and every time you do it, you're going to add a little bit more. Okay, looks good. The very last one are sit-ups. So hands behind head, good distance between chin and chest, look up. The more advanced method, you're going to have your legs up in the air, and it's going to cause you to have to really engage and control your back. Good, looking good. Exhaling on lift. I hate to stop him, he's doing so good. Okay, he went right into the modification. The legs are going to be on the floor and you're going to modify. Okay. So those are our exercise challenges for day 2. 2 sets of 10, you can build up, you can do 3 sets, you can go to 15, just depends on how you're feeling. Getting moving and keeping moving is the goal. Thank you. The very last piece of day 2 is your journal topic. So what I want you to think about is be the change, and what does that mean to you? That should do it for today. Thank you.